It's Mark Elliott from Fluent Finance Abroad here again, and I'm very happy to say that I've been invited to Malaga City, to the Casco Antiguo, which is the old town, right next to the cathedral in Calle Cister. And I've been invited by Miriem Diouri Garcia from MDG Tax and Accounting. So hello, Miriem.
Thank you very much.
Lovely
Hello.
to see you. Thank you so much for inviting us here. You've got a wonderful office, by the way.
Thank you, Mark, for coming and for taking the time to get to know more about what we do.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, please.
Okay. Myself, I'm an accountant, I'm a tax advisor. I grew up here in Malaga. In fact, I was born very close to these offices in Hospital Galvez. And I am the founder and partner director of MDG Advisors. We are a professional firm specialized in international investors. We started our company in 2010. And we've been developing accounting and tax services for international clients during all this time. I was myself a very good student, and everyone would have thought that I would go to be a doctor or an engineer or some other careers that normally require like higher grades, because I got like 10 when I finished high school. But I had a teacher, and he told me like once, like, you know, like in economics, we need also excellent professionals. Like normally medium kind of students go to economics. And if you are into it, I think you will be good. And I don't know why, but that's, you know, ring my mind, and that's why I chose to become an accountant.
But you're Spanish, you're from Malaga, so Malagueña.
Yes.
But your English is excellent, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. I understand that you've lived and you studied in England, so tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yes. My first experience in the UK was when I was 17 years old, when I finished high school, and I went there to work as an au pair in a lovely house in Surrey. And I really fall in love with the country, the people, I don't know, it just suited me. And when I finished my university studies, I went to do some English for business studies in Westminster College. And I spent a year living in London and studying at Westminster College and also working at the Royal Academy of Arts. And for me, it was like a life-changing experience. You know, I got to meet lovely people that are still my friends. And I don't know, it just felt right for me. And actually going this summer to England with my family, with my kids. And it's a country that I really love.
Doing some research about you, you left university and then you went to work for one of the big accountancy firms, is that right?
Yes. When I finished university, as I said, I went to England for a year, and when I came back, you know, I had this international expertise that I wanted to use. So I started working for a well-recognized international firm, bigger corporation that we are now, and I was there working for nearly 6 years. And then eventually I thought about starting my own practice.
And what made you do that? What made you think, okay?
Yeah, well, I was just about to turn 30. I wanted to have my kids, get married, and the level of work I had at that time was so high that I just thought it would be impossible for me to continue developing my career, because I didn't want to stop it, but I couldn't make that long hours. So at the beginning it wasn't like a very ambitious idea, like I want to create this international firm or wherever. I was just thinking, you know, like I had one client back at that time that was a family friend, that is a hotel here in Malaga. And I thought, like, you know, with that monthly fee and some other things, I can have a quiet life. I was completely wrong.
So one of the reasons why you decided was because you wanted to set up a family.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How many children do you have now?
I've got 2 kids now,
You
2
said
daughters.
So you started with one client, you've had 2 children, and we're sitting here now. And that was when?
I left my former job in 2010, July, started this own practice in September, had a month holidays. And like the next year, I was getting married. I had 2 kids that now, my 2 daughters, they are now 11 and 8. So yes, it's been quite busy times, busy years, you know, building also the firm. I mean, I was lucky enough to find really good people to work with me along these years. I could have never done this on my own. The best thing I did was to create a good team of professionals. Yeah, and work a lot, of course.
Well, so that, we're in 2024 now, so that was 14 years ago.
Yeah, we will be celebrating our 15th anniversary. At the beginning it was just myself, but I always, you know, when they said like, how you gonna name your firm? I was like, MDG Advisors. And I remember my sister-in-law asking me, you and who else? And I was like, I don't know, I always had the team idea. And in fact, it was only when I got pregnant that I really needed some help initially, because at the beginning we were, as I said, very, very small. So one lady who is now my partner, Leticia, she came to do an internship from university. And I said, listen, Leticia, you're not really coming for an internship. You know, I'm gonna be a mom in 3 months. And you will have to, in fact, work and do everything during my maternity leave. I know probably it's not fair, but do you agree with that? She said, yeah, I'll do it. But when I fully came back, I talked to her and I said, listen, you're great. And I think I can search for more clients, but probably before I wasn't that pushed to do it. Do you want to stay with me? And she was like, yeah, sure, I want to stay. And that was truly the origin of everything. And now we are a team of 15 professionals. After 15 years, we are 3 partners, Leticia, Pablo Mayo, that I think you're going to talk to later.
That's right.
And myself. Our team, for me, I call it like the best team ever. Because for us it's very important to the recruitment. We search for the best profiles from university, and what we offer them is good conditions, good quality of life, because originally it was the motivation for me to leave my former job. And we want to have the best professionals, but also with the best values. So we want first good people, and secondly well qualified. It's a lot of time consuming when you actually welcome a new client or when that client leaves the firm. So we want to avoid the rotation of clients, and truly now we have like a very, very low rotation rate, because we want the clients to be satisfied. And for us it's very important to, as well as finding the right professional, also finding the right client for our firm. Someone that we know that will be benefit from our services, with the international component, with the things we have an advantage, a competitive advantage to provide. And it works well for us. I remember I used to have a boss that always said to us, like, Real Madrid is in the first division because they win all the matches. And that applies to reality. You can do everything correctly and no one will notice, but if you make an error one day, that's where you have a problem. Plus, we as tax advisors, we have a lot of responsibility. So for us, the mechanisms of control and revision of all the work are very, very important.
So what kind of services do you provide at MDG?
We do accounting, tax services, and payroll and labor services. As I said, we mainly work for international investors. The needs an international investor has are slightly different to a normal local client. So our services are more in the way of an outsourcing of services. We do everything in terms of accounting, taxes, mercantile, and payroll services.
Company setups,
Yes.
the bookkeeping,
The whole process.
labor,
bookkeeping, payrolls, setting up of the company, everything.
But you don't just work for companies either, you do personal advice as well, is that right?
Yes, we mainly work for companies or high-profile clients. Our services, we don't do any legal, because our best prescribers are legal firms. So sometimes we act for very important legal firms in Spain, such as Garrigues or Cuatro Casa or other more local law firms. We are like the backup office of those firms, and we do the compliance services that they are not providing because they are not in that side of the business.
Well, what international client profiles are currently being attracted to Malaga?
The whole journey, like since we set up our firm in 2010, Malaga has completely changed. With the technological part, with all these IT companies that are coming. And back in the day, it was just about technological part. Now, with, for instance, the presence of Google in the marina, the whole picture has changed because we have a lot of tech companies also in central Malaga. So it's a completely new city with new needs, more cosmopolitan, and we are happy to have that because it's what we are prepared to do and the sorts of services that we can help the clients with. Most of these IT companies are looking for quality of life for their employees, and for them that's a key factor. And now we have like this employee revolution where the power of high profile employees is very high, and the competition is very high. So IT companies, they want to offer their employees the best, not only in salary, on compensations, but also of the quality of life or the place they're living. When a company comes to us, first is the expertise. Like I would say we are probably the only or the first firm truly specialized or international investors in Malaga City. And we provide all our services in English, all the reports, communications, everything. And all our professionals are qualified to provide professional advice with international component in terms of the study of complex VAT, European VAT operations, the study of double tax treaty. You know, that's something else you need to help those clients. That would be the technical and linguistic aspect, but it's also a very third important aspect, that is the cultural, the social. We are used to deal with clients from all over the world. We work with more than 32 nationalities, and we understand what an international client needs when they come to a new country. They don't know anything. Sometimes they even need you to recommend a school for the kids. And you need to be able to be that professional, that trusted advisor that is ready to help at all times. And that's what we do for our clients.
If an external or a foreign business or company or person is actually taking an interest in your country, it's so important that there are people on the ground that can actually make that investment actually worthwhile and safe.
Yeah, that's very important, and I think that was what another key element for the success of Malaga. That was the collaboration between the Malaga Town Hall and the Malaga's professionals, because we work together to attract international investment and to help the clients to do their soft landings. And for the feedback we have, I think they're very satisfied, because also, with this public-private collaboration, they also feel secure, they feel safe, and it works. It has worked very well for Malaga.
So I first met you through the British Chamber of Commerce a good few years ago now, and I understand that you're fairly involved with in fact you've actually been re-elected to the National Governing Council of the Chamber. Mm-hmm. So can I ask you, why did you decide to get involved with the British Chamber in the first place?
As I told you before, I was always very close to the UK, and when I set up my own practice, it just felt natural to become a member of the British Chamber. Then I met Derek, the Vice President of the British Chamber here in Andalusia, and he proposed me to sit on the GC. I felt privileged and honored to sit in that position and make also my best to help international British companies to come and set up their business in Spain. So
you're involved in this organisation now, which is called the Malaga Economic Observatory.
Yes.
I understand this is pretty important. What is it? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. For me, this is a very important position. I was selected among other Malaga professionals to work in an economic observatory of the city of Malaga. This is a pro bono position. But for me, it's important because I think we are working also for the future of our city and for our kids in a way. Because I think we have a gem, we have a beautiful city, geographically unique place, and we have to work to also preserve it. But this progress comes with also problems. So transport, water, house prices. And I think the town hall is aware of that and concerned about the future, because you can be a victim of your success, and right. We don't want that for Malaga. We have other close examples of cities with that problem, and we are working to avoid it.
The idea is to embrace the growth of the city, but also to understand how the growth can be controlled in a way which is going to benefit everyone.
Absolutely, and to make it sustainable.
But you've also now created something else, okay, which is the MEW Malaga Executive for Women.
That's a very recent thing. To promote and help with education of executive women in Malaga that want to become part of board of directors. Mm-hmm. Because it's not only about having the skills, the professional skills. It's also about the contacts, the lobbies, and there's a lot of things behind that last step.
Listen, Miriem, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for your insights and for your time. We really, as a company, everyone in my firm really appreciate that you're around and that we can call on you and we can refer clients to you. I think that's that for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you much.